Good morning. My asthma's a little acting up. I'm DC. I'm late to my own live stream. But here we are. I'm so happy to see you all. I'm a little tired because I just stopped streaming at like 3 in the morning. Happy Saturday. Yes, it's not my final intro, but I like that little TV so much. And I haven't fixed the chat yet. I literally went to sleep after we stopped streaming. And it's almost too much Carl within 12 hours. But here we are. And Avery, we've got a vintage radio. So we don't have to look at the stupid Spotify stuff. How's everyone doing? Hi, Lynn. You're cooking dinner? Okay. Hi, Deanna. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Charlene. Good morning. I'm late. Charlene, I'm late to my own live stream. I just need Dave or Janet yelling, "You're late," at me. Because I'm late. Hope you all are doing well. We're going to listen to Carl. Unfortunately, Carl is the CEO of Beachbody. And he is a whole moment in and of himself. And I'm going to, because I took the screenshot so I wouldn't lose it. Maybe I didn't. I hope I did. Yes. Habits and Hustle. Episode 176. Habits and Hustle. Hustle? Here we go. Jeez. Carl, kind of had a few hypocritical moments last night. So I'm going to play it for 5 seconds. Let me know if you can hear it. We had a disappointing Indian takeaway yesterday, so making it myself today. Oh, Lynn, I feel like you're an amazing cook. Perfect timing while I do my skincare. Awesome. I have a little bit of insomnia sometimes, and I try to sleep, but sometimes I literally can't. Is my camera in focus? Sure ain't. Okay. I'm going to play it for 5 seconds. Let me know if you can hear it. Sorry, it's at 1.2 speed. Can y'all hear that? I'm good when I want to be. Me too, Lynn. Except I'm not a good cook. I can't hear? Gosh darn it. God dang it. Technical difficulty, welcome. We're besties here. Is it no, it has to be the mainstream.
Be partnering with them.
I can see it. Darn. You heard it last night. I didn't change anything. Okay, we're going to try this. I literally had a little sound. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I just had the sound too down. Let me try it again.
Thanks for listening to the Habits and Hustle podcast, made possible by our friends at Tru Niagen. So I've been a huge fan of Tru Niagen for years, and that's why I am so excited to be partnering with them, because I literally don't miss a day taking it, and think if you're going to be using any one supplement, this is the one. And here is why, with of course an added science lesson for you from me. Our bodies produce a molecule called NAD, which supports energy production that starts in our cells, but the levels sadly decline by up to 50% between the ages of 40 and 60. A nutrient that can help increase our NAD is a form of vitamin B3 called nicotinamide riboside, otherwise known as NR. And the most efficient, proven, and safe way to get this is with Tru Niagen, because it's the best NAD precursor.
I am not responsible for any health claims made by anyone on this podcast, and maybe I'll just skip it.
that it's not just a supplement, but precursor is it helps our
same.
own bodies produce NAD. True Niagen helps support our bodies against everyday stressors that can really damage our cells, like overeating, drinking, staying up too late. So in my opinion, no one is too young to take it. I wish I had this in my early 30s.
No one's too young to take it? What? We're supposed to be listening to Carl, not... Jennifer, what are you doing?
What's most amazing is that True Niagen is backed by over 200 published scientific studies and is researched by the world's top scientific institutions. So go check it out at trueniagen.com. That's TRUNIAGEN. And we have a special offer for new customers to receive 20% off all orders $100 or more using the code.
Why is her sound going in and out? I don't think it's me. Is it me? I'm just going to post it on live really quickly to my Instagram because we're professional. We are professionals, as Emily D. Baker says. Copy. Copy, copy, copy. Oh, dang it. Where are we? Who knows? We're not here. Okay, there we go. Hope you all are doing well. I thought I was going to be able to okay, we're live. By we, I just mean everyone in the live chat. Okay. All right. Okay, we're back. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm going to keep playing.
Hustle 20 until August 30th, 2022. So definitely run, don't walk, and scoop some up now.
Hi guys, it's Tony Robbins. You're listening to Habits and Hustle.
Oh my God, not Tony Robbins.
Well, today is going to be
awesome. Yeah, I can do that through Streamlabs. So I really like it. I find it helpful. Not Tony Robbins. God dang it. Carl.
It's a treat for me, you guys. I'm not going to lie. We have today on the podcast Carl Daikeler, and Carl is the CEO and founder, chairman of Beachbody. And Beachbody has been a juggernaut in the fitness business for over 20 years. It is the company behind Tony Horton's P90X, Shaun T's Insanity.
Tony Horton is the person behind P90X. I mean, let's just be honest for a second. Carl takes all the credit, and Tony was the one that really made that a wonderful program. Tony was. Not Carl, Tony. I'm a little spicy because Carl made me so mad on the podcast last night. Oh, we just binged, but we didn't bing. Hold on. Why are we not? Oh, because we're doing it every 5. Thank you to whoever just subscribed. I really appreciate you. I feel like I'm listening to her in a car where the sound wobbles. Yes, Lynn, that's what I was talking about. It's like, it's wobbling a little bit. Hi, Lori. Good morning. I know. But now it's at an even number. So we're going to be fine.
The hip hop abs. There's also a really popular one, I'm sure you may know, called 21 Day Fix with Autumn Calabrese.
Oh.
Well, he's the man behind all of this and created this huge juggernaut, like I said. So this has been on my bucket list. He is a genius, in my opinion, and just
not in my opinion.
Beast when it comes to building a brand, a business, especially in the health and fitness business. His work ethic is bar none from everything I've been told, what I've known. And so it was really...
I want him to talk to a podcast person who isn't enamored with his celebrity and his prowess as a business owner, because I know you have to do like an intro for your guest, but I'm just not a fan of Carl.
Really interesting for me, and just a pleasure, really, to pick his brain, to talk to him about where he thinks the business of fitness and health is going, with all the different competition that's come up in the last little while with Peloton and, well, you know, Everett Tonal, just to get kind of his idea of where it's going. They recently bought a spinning company.
She does have a great podcasting voice. I'm not going to lie. I just didn't love her. I didn't love her ad at the beginning. For sure. This already feels like a paid promo. Yep, it sure does, Charlene.
As well, which we talk about. It was just a really fascinating conversation. He's a real entrepreneur, but like I said, he does the work and he puts the effort in, and he's built a multi-billion-dollar brand. So I really can't wait to share this interview with you guys. Here he is, Carl Daikeler, Beachbody.
Here's a question. Before we continue, I have a question. If your stock is worth $1 in change, does that mean that you still have $1 million brand? I've got questions. Is the stock worth separate from your business worth? I need someone smarter to answer that question, because Beachbody stock has dropped 90% in the past 52 weeks. 90%. So can it be? Wait, maybe it was worth $1 billion before. When was this episode done? July 2019. Great. Maybe it was recently. No. Oh, it must have been recently. Maybe it was this July. Oh, well.
I'm just going to say who we have, which is you, Carl Daikeler, who is the CEO, founder, co-founder, chairman of the board now of Beachbody. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's an honor to have you. I know so much about your company. I'm extremely familiar, as I'm sure everybody else as well is, who've ever done,
Drop 90% and Snark Week hasn't even started. Yes. This is our modern day infomercial, like what used to play in the middle of the night on TV in the 90s. Yes, absolutely.
One of your fitness programs. So thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And I hope I passed the audition.
Yeah, you did, with flying colors, actually.
Oh, we're just getting started.
And we're just getting started. Exactly. It's still early. But can we, I just, because most people, of course, I think in my space know what Beachbody is, right? It's literally like a behemoth in health, wellness. You guys have not just fitness programs that have been probably the most, in my opinion, like some of the best I've ever seen. But you have accessories, you have the Shakeology, you have supplements, you have all these Beachbody, like 400,000 Beachbody coaches. Am I correct on that?
It's the best you've ever seen. Here's the thing. When you're a podcaster, or I think when you're a podcaster, or if you're saying stuff on the internet, your words have to mean something in the context of what you've said for the entirety of your existence. Is it the best you've ever seen? Seriously? It's a good production. It's a good production. Are the programs actually good? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you go to a licensed personal trainer. Laying on the flattery a bit too thick there, podcast lady. Yeah, Jennifer, you're laying it on a little too thick.
Well, it's a combination of coaches and preferred customers. So it's a mix, because people sometimes go from preferred customer to become a coach.
Maybe she's crossing her fingers while she's speaking, so it doesn't really count. Sonia. You might be right. And I don't know. I know if you're pushing out a lot of podcasts, you're depending upon the people to give you some sheets of information. Maybe she really does like Beachbody. It's the best you've ever seen. Now, I think Tony Horton's great. I think the other guy, Sean T, is great. I think Chalene Johnson was great, and they've all. I hope Sean T leaves, but Tony Horton has left Beachbody. I think Chalene has left. We have QVC and HSN for your daytime TV shopping here, Lynn. Best equals only. Mm-hmm.
Coach or a preferred customer. So that's in general the total number.
So how do you describe, like in like a quick soundbite, what would you say Beachbody is? It's
Beachbody is an all-in health and wellness resource for people to get the help, a prescriptive help to achieve the goals that they've got for loving their own body and still coexisting with the love of their own being at the same time that they're looking to improve it, to feel better, to feel better in their own skin. And what we try to do is innovate in a way that will help somebody overcome obstacles that perhaps diet culture or self-esteem issues
Hi,
or
Jessica.
just struggles with stop and starts.
This word salad, I am not here for it. Absolutely not. Here, I'll give you a shorter intro. Beachbody is a multi-level marketing company who has a subscription service database of programs that they have. Their independent contractors, who they call coaches, sell them to other people. And they financially compensate coaches on downlines more than they compensate having customers on your downline. So it is an epidemic of people trying to recruit other people to sign up and chase a dream of making a lot of money in the fitness industry. That's what I would say it is. There's turmeric in the Indian food. I cannot look at turmeric the same anymore. It used to be such a fun spice. I know. Elamir ruined it for us all. There are so many other workout programs that are better than Beachbody these days. And in general, getting a workout program from there's tons on YouTube that are free. There's tons. I mean, you can just go. You could. I mean, I don't know. You could pay $40 or whatever to go and get have a session with a personal trainer. Maybe they're more than that now. Dang. We should write a Boss Babe dictionary. Best equals only in our first entry. Jessica, that would be hilarious. Sonia and Jessica need to get together and do like a brainstorming session. DC, you should print that description. It's spot on. Thanks.
May have impacted their confidence that they can actually achieve their goals. So we try to break it down into something that's quite prescriptive. And so
you're not a doctor, Carl. Nobody in Beachbody is a doctor. It's not prescriptive. Only a doctor can prescribe stuff. Give me a break.
That's probably a longer description than you were looking for, but ultimately it's really a resource to help people achieve their goals, to lead
their
a
health and
life.
Fitness wellness goals, basically. Life goals. So
Life
can you just
goals.
talk
Oh
a
my
little
God.
bit about your background? Like, were you, because you guys started in, you guys are like a direct marketing, direct response. You guys start with infomercials. What was your background? Were you like a fitness fanatic? Were you a direct
Dr.
marketing
McSteamy.
genius? Like, what did you come with before you even like thought of making or creating Beachbody?
Yeah, honestly, I was a television person. That's what I would say. And I had a theater background. So I thought I was going to pursue a TV career or maybe a sports television career. And then I realized pretty quickly that entertaining was not fulfilling to me. What I liked to do was solve problems. And
Really?
then stumbled into the infomercial world, which, might sound like an odd choice for somebody who likes to solve problems with media and communication. But it actually, if you've got a product that deserves a story to be told, an infomercial was a great medium because it was really the only medium of its kind where you could tell this full story. And so I really took to it. But I found that the most reliable product to tell a story.
Will someone get Carl a freaking microphone when he does these Zoom interviews? He keeps doing it on his iPad or his phone or his computer. And could someone get him a microphone? I mean, don't, but if we're going to keep critiquing these, you could hear all the clicking in the background. I like to solve problems too, Carl. What do? I solve a puzzle. Yes. Oh, so he's just an actor. Yep. I solve problems as a web designer. Thank you very much. Yes, exactly, Avery.
In an infomercial was around somebody's well-being and or their fitness and helping them understand what it takes to get real results. And so I don't like working out. I'm not a fitness person. I don't like eating healthy. And because of that, I can completely relate with the audience. And so I'm always trying to help solve our mutual problem. And how can we try to be consistent with this? And that's what I've been doing for 23 years here.
Hold on a second. So you're not like, I would think that, because I was under the impression just from like rumblings around that you were very involved in product development and the fitness programs and creation of everything. Is that not true?
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
But it comes from I come from the perspective of the people who just don't want to do it. That's what's been powerful about it is because I can't relate to people who love it.
Are we serious, Carl? Have you seen your super trainers? Like, I know Tony Horton was a super trainer. And I know Shaun T's a super trainer. But have you seen your super trainers recently? Because if you're talking about real people, real results, give me a break. That's not what you're showing us with your super trainers. I don't know. If he had $1 billion company, he should be able to afford a mic. You would think so, Avery. Solve problems equals create body image problems. Yes, put that one in the dictionary, Sonia. You would think you'd be able to afford a decent mic, especially if he's doing all these interviews. Why not have a mic? You know? You could even get a little bit of a sound mixer for $150 and a mic and be able to put it through to your computer. Or just get a microphone that has a USB input. The Shure has one that you can just stick it straight into your computer. Oh, shocker. I have to Google Tony Horton. I keep thinking coffee, but that's Tim Horton, right? Yep, Lynn. Tony Horton is the lead trainer for P90X. And he, from what I've heard from different coaches, he is a really good, he has good philosophies on fitness and form, and Tony Horton does not work for Beachbody anymore. He went to the Jessie Lee School of Podcasting. Oh my gosh, Charlene. Oh, yes. Man, we have Carl today and yesterday and Jessie Lee tomorrow. Dear, I'm going to lose my mind. Causing people to have eating disorders and body image issues. Good job. Yep. And on the podcast that we listened to last night, he said that he leaves his coaches alone, like the ones who sign up as independent contractors, because he doesn't want to micromanage them. And it's like, oh, so you're actively not interfering and holding them accountable for the crap that's going on because you think that a hands-off approach is appropriate when they're making income claims and health claims. Got it, Carl. Got it. No, heck no. Bring it, Charlene. It's just the wake-up call I need for this morning.
Which means that the products that we're creating aren't from the perspective of somebody who loves it. They're from the perspective of somebody who can't stand it, which is what makes it so marketable, because all we're trying to do is constantly reinvent it in a way that is appealing from a different perspective. I'll give you an example. We have a program coming out in the end of May called Fire and Flow, which is a first of its kind that I'm aware of. And that is where I was doing a program last summer. I was doing one of our programs called 645, 6 days a week, 45 minutes a day. And on Wednesday was this functional recovery day. And for me, because I don't like fitness, I thought, oh, this is the blow off day. Recovery. I don't care. That's not helping me. So I'm just going to blow that off. But I wouldn't. I wanted to do the program as it was designed. And it turned out that I absolutely loved this recovery workout on Wednesdays. And I thought, God, I wish there was more of that in the program, So we created this hybrid program called Fire and Flow, where 3 days a week you're doing this intense fitness cross training with this trainer, Jericho McMatthews. But then, so that's Monday. Then Tuesday, you do this recovery, strength building, functional fitness program that really reduces stress. And then you get, psyched up to do Wednesday, which is another fire program, Fire and Flow, 6 days a week. But it's got this effect of you're burning the calories that you want to burn. You're getting stronger the way you want to get stronger, but you're reducing stress, taking the pressure off of this.
You mean yoga?
6 day week program and improving the functionality of the joints that you're generally, if you're a type A, you're sort of always pushing to their limit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
for the love of God, Carl, when I was training full time for my sport, tennis, and I was going to a licensed trainer, and I was going out to Athletes Performance in Arizona, they had 2 days on active recovery, 2 days on active recovery, and then a full rest day on Saturday. So it is not a new concept. It's not a new concept that you did this active, rest active, or whatever it's called, Fire and Flow. It's not new. You can't just take credit because you're not aware of good fitness practices. Carl. Can someone please get Carl a licensed trainer certification so he can catch up on all the stuff that he thinks that he is creating from scratch? Thank you.
So that's just one example of putting something together from the perspective of many people like me who just don't take to it naturally and need to have a different approach if they're going to find any consistency.
So then let me just, because we're on this topic now, I was going to ask you that later on, but since we're already talking about it. So are you somebody that exercises daily? Do you do all the programs that you have? Is there a favorite of yours that you?
No. Yeah. I don't. I come in and out of it. And I don't do all the programs. Like, I don't think that's my job. I'll
yes.
collaborate in the development of all of them. So I'll try.
Sonia said, anyone remember how Rick in The Walking Dead used to say, Carl? That's what I keep thinking. Yep.
By them and just see, how's this working? Is the queuing working for
Oh, good point, Celeste. That's why they have the joint supplement coming out. Yeah. Because they keep working all the time. They keep working out and there's no rest days. Yes, I agree, Lynn. I think he also came from the Donald J. Trump Academy of Logic. Yep. I think of Carl from Jimmy Neutron. There's so much. There's so many opportunities with Carl.
People take for granted, even though you're producing a workout video, people aren't staring at the screen like it's a TV show. Your eyes are all over the place. Mm-hmm. So the queuing has to be up to a certain level. So I checked that. But otherwise, I sort of bounce around the catalog in a way that suits me. And so, for instance, I'm doing a thing that we call a body block.
What?
Starting May 2nd, where we have this live tier of content, a premium subscription called BOD Interactive. BOD is the lucky acronym for Beachbody On Demand. So BOD Interactive is body, BODI. And we do around 8 live workouts a day. So for 3 weeks, I'm going to do 5 workouts.
Carl, are you freaking kidding me? Turn off your notifications. And you can say, DC, are your notifications turned off? They sure aren't. I'm going to do that right now. How do I turn this off? Who knows? I'm losing my mind. Carl, this is not... I can't even open this now. I'm just going to say sorry if I get any notifications because I just reamed Carl for it and I'm sure I'm going to run into it too.
workouts a week on our interactive tier. And then I'll take the 4th week off. So that's a block.
Oh, geez.
And so that'll sort of tune me up for summer and be able to do the things that I prefer to do from a leisure perspective. I like to surf every once in a while. I like to ride my bike and horse around. But I probably will do 4 or 5 programs where I really dial it in and get the nutrition all on point, get everything on point, no alcohol for a period of time, that kind of thing.
Okay, so so that's interesting. I assume that you were like this crazy fitness fanatic that like works out 3 hours a day, wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning, drinks Shakeology, twice a day, like has your nutrition like totally dialed in. So I guess I was wrong.
Well, let me add one thing to it, and I totally appreciate that.
Sorry, my husband just went to the gym and my dog is crying. It's okay, buddy. Why don't you just lay down? You just went to the gym. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Well, he is on the potty doing an interview. Be thankful. It's just the notifications we're hearing. Oh my gosh.
The one thing, at 58 years old, the one thing that I literally have finally gotten control of is my food. Because like I thought pizza was a food group, like that was just my thing. And, we have this program Portion Fix, which is just these little containers and it helps you understand.
Please, if you are even thinking about doing Portion Fix, just don't. And why? It seems to really drive home the disordered approach to food more than other things. And some of those containers, what did they add up to 1,200 calories a day? Are you kidding me? Damn it, Carl, pizza is a food group. Leave our pizza alone, Carl. Seriously. Pizza is a food group. F off. Carl. This podcast is an hour long and we're only 14 minutes in. Oh my God.
Getting the right balance of macros and what is the right how much.
I'm sorry. I have a hard time believing that, Carl, because you're asking us to put vegetables in those containers. Are you serious? Really? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Yeah, he is like or acting cagey, and he's not I don't know if he's not prepared. When y'all listen to this call from the quarterly earnings call, it's wild. Next week we're going to play it. I think we're going to play it on the Beachbody Bros Day. I'm not sure yet.
Of those macros or food groups, if you will, are appropriate for your activity level. So I can now I'm managing my food intake pretty well. I don't have a big sweet tooth, so that's pretty easy for me. And I do drink Shakeology every single day without fail at 10 a.m. every day. And it's the healthiest thing that I do every day. So,
sir, have you, why don't you try Shakeology without all this stuff in it? So he thinks that it is good to consume because it is healthy. It tastes horrible without everything added into it. And I saw this girl, I made a reel about it. She put a little bit of water and ice, the chocolate powder, a dollop of Cool Whip, and a splash of either almond milk or soy milk. And then she topped it off with another dollop. There's not strong enough Cool Whip to cover the taste of chocolate Shakeology. There's not. The coaches state that they don't count macros. They use their portion containers. I'm just not a fan of those containers. I really am not. Okay, food's done here. I'll be back when we're done eating if you're still alive. I hope I don't have like a stressful like I need to take some like I don't know what it's called. Blood pressure medicine.
That part I have found to be quite a quite natural part of my routine. It's the fitness that I'm less consistent with unless I'm dialed into a program.
Right. Wow. I do love the Shakeology. The chocolate's delicious, but I digress. So let's start from the beginning, but let's get back.
She just said the chocolate is delicious. Is there something wrong with my taste buds? Really? I've tried it. I literally have tried it, and it makes you feel crazy when you've tried something, and sure, does everyone have different tastes? Yeah, but when the smell is so terrible, and you try to swallow it, and then the texture is chalky, and then the aftertaste, it's like metallic-y and greeny, like green, very sharp, like you can smell it in the powder, and the aftertaste doesn't go away for hours? And you're saying it's incredible?
To the beginning then, because I'm very curious and interested about, even about the fact that since you started 23 years ago, I feel like you've dominated the market, but as time have gone by, I feel in the last few years, especially with COVID, everything else, there's so much more competition, but you've still been able to kind of innovate and be relevant. And, I want to kind of talk all the way, the evolution of this. So let's start with even your partner. You have a partner, a co-founder, right? Named John. Mm-hmm. Were you guys friends before you started? How did you start that? I want to understand how this became such a juggernaut with really no background in trial and error.
Tony Horton.
I appreciate you saying that. It's funny. Just so you know, I don't experience it.
Incredible equals vomit inducing. At least gagging for sure. The coaches, it does no good if you can't swallow it. If you haven't tried it, just go off DC's taste test reaction. Yeah. When I say I've drank a lot of different protein shakes, I have. I at one time was training full time for tennis. I drank a lot of protein shakes. I tried a lot of different kinds. I like the taste of protein shakes when they're good. And there's a lot of good ones on the market that don't cost $140 a month for 30 servings. Delicious equals chalky. And when I tried the Shakeology, I was shocked. And I gagged a lot. It's frustrating trying something and actually having an experience with it and listening to people on a public platform. Oh no, I lost a follower. Womp womp. And they're saying how incredible and delicious and all this other good stuff. It's like, give me a break, man. Come on.
That way at all. From my perspective, Beachbody is a startup. And it hasn't even touched a tenth of what it should be. That's how it feels to me. I don't sit here I don't feel like a success story sitting here talking to you. Very much a work in progress. We still have to get it right. We haven't reached enough people. So.
How many people do you have as members? I mean, you are you're public now.
Yeah, 2.5 million subscriptions. I think 28 million subscriptions. So, that's decent. But there's 150 million people overweight or obese in the United States alone, and they haven't, and probably most of them have yet to find that thing that speaks to them, and that's our job, is to reach them. I'm missing. I'm at best 10% of where I should be. And so anyway, to answer your question, John and I were working together at a company called 𝐔𝐒𝐄 where we were marketing, we had little projects that we were doing for them. We were sort of entrepreneurs in residence. And 𝐔𝐒𝐄 was going through a period of focus where they were going to just be in the beauty business. And so I said to John, hey, I'm going to start up this another direct marketing company. We offered 𝐓𝐇𝐎𝐒𝐃 to partner with us because as they were narrowing, I said, hey, we're going to do this other thing. I've got this list of ideas in the fitness category because I had already created this program, 8-Minute Abs, with another company that I had started, and then I sold that off. So I had experience creating content with.
I mean, we've seen the 8-minute abs on the intro that I made. It's it's not. It might be great. It might be a great workout. It is. It's definitely very 90s. I'll say that.
This little video and sold like 20 million copies of, or not 20 million.
Just throw that in there. It's like, I'm not on an ego trip. But he is. He just keeps throwing stuff in there to like boost up his image on this podcast. And it's like, Carl has a lot of boring stories. Yeah, it's just how ironic he brings up 𝐓𝐇𝐎𝐒𝐃, the juggernaut of 90s infomercials. Yep.
2 million copies, sorry. 2 million copies of it for $20. So
of
like
8-minute abs?
Yeah. Like that was a huge little success.
Huge. I didn't know that. Who'd you sell it to? Like, what was it with? Who was it with?
Through direct marketing. We sold it, but I sold my interest back to the company that I had co-founded that company. Right. So I sold them back my interest. And then, so I said to John, hey, I think the idea that led to 8-minute abs, I have other ideas like that. And would you like to come along? And he said, yes. And so we founded it together in really 1998, had our first products on the air by 1999, which were also little workout videos. And then the real breakout was in 2001, where we launched this program, Power 90, which was a 90-day fitness program with Tony Horton, which was basically the prequel to P90X. And that was a great little hit for us. Like we did, $30 million of sales of this little, these 6 workout videos that we produced. And it's been variations on that theme for 23 years.
So then I was going to say, because to date, I'm sure it's very different because now there's more people aware of you and all that. But is P90X like your best-selling program of all time, or was it maybe the Shaun T Insanity? Like, what has been the best-selling program or the most popular
P90X.
of all time?
It's really tough to put that in perspective. I would say the most recognizable,
P90X.
the one that sort of broke through the zeitgeist was P90X. And there's some crazy stories about that taking off. And then that led to Insanity, which was a blockbuster. And then this program, 21 Day Fix. I would probably say that 21 Day Fix is the biggest overall program.
No.
But it sort of spanned DVDs into digital. So the scorekeeping is a little funky because we moved into digital. But yeah, I would say that those are sort of the 3 mega hits that are the most well known.
So like the P90 or the Insanity, like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Like, do you come up with the concept and the idea and then you find talent to attach it? Or does someone come to you and say, I had this idea called P90X or Insanity or?
In general, probably 90% of the time we come up with the ideas at the company and then pick what we call the Beachbody super trainer who's right for it. Or if we don't have the right person for it, we'll find the right person. In some cases, we'll find somebody who's got a program that is really appealing and we think could be expressed well through video and in-home video. So
I'm going to speed this up because Carl is like trying to find a sales pitch as he's talking. It sounds like he wasn't prepared for this podcast. I know I'm critical of Carl. I know I am. I'm sorry. I wish I had more grace for him. I don't. Sorry, I thought that I'm trying to like monitor stuff on to make sure there's no bots, and I was distracted. But why would someone who doesn't enjoy fitness go into fitness? Did I miss the why? I heard the how and the when. He has said a couple times that I think it makes him money. I think he saw the opportunity in making a lot of money, honestly. And he has said, after the fact, he has never liked vegetables, he's not a good eater, and that's probably why most people are obese. And he didn't like to work out, and he still hates working out. After all these years, he still hates working out. And he still hates vegetables, and he still hates eating well, and I think it just made him a ton of money. And from a marketing, sales perspective, he saw an opportunity, and there has never, from what I understand, there's never been I'm really passionate about this. He has said, here's a problem. I share the same problem. I think I can fix it. And I think by fixing it, I can make a lot of money. Which, okay. It's obvious about the money. Yeah, his why seems a little watered down for sure. So I think that that's what I pick up. And I've just listened to him in the past 6 hours. And his podcast last night was just like, oh, jeez. Money is Carl's motivation. And again, lots of people do incredible things and they make a lot of money at the same time. Like offering a good or service. And, I know that Elon Musk is not our favorite dude. Trying to move the electric... Now, you can be not a great dude and also move the electric car industry forward. And I think that it's a good thing. So I think there's both. I think you have to remember that multiple things can be true about someone or something at the same time. And it's not a either or, it's a this and this. I think for him, though, for Carl, though, it's tough that he seems to hate so many things that he pushes in his business. And it's different than listening to someone who's passionate about making a change. And I don't get that passion. And maybe Carl's just not a good communicator. Who knows? Where's my play button? Who knows? We don't. Here we go.
I kept driving by this place called Yoga Booty Ballet, a studio in West Hollywood. And,
Sonia, yep.
And so we did an infomercial around that, and that was quite successful. And then Chalene Johnson had this series of formats that she was training in clubs called Turbo Kick and Payo. So then we licensed the right with her to develop those for TV. But in general, either at this point, we either come up with the idea or we'll get the sort of the seed of an idea from one of the trainers. So for instance, we just launched this program, 4-week gut protocol, which Autumn Calabrese came up.
That has been a terrible program. Have y'all seen that? If y'all haven't seen it, go to Amy or Cheryl or Jen or Amber. They've been covering that. It has been wild. It has been wildly bad. And then Autumn has gotten so mad at people for even asking questions in her group because the questions weren't answered in the document or the book that they provided to the people doing the protocol. So, give me a break.
With this idea, because she was suffering from her own gut issues, and she wanted to combine this approach to nutrition with a no impact fitness program that we call 4 Weeks for Everybody. So we put these two things together, and then put the sort of the Beachbody look
Probably
and feel
Sonia,
to it.
I don't know.
And that was just a mega hit in mid-March.
Well, I think because, things are also things ebb and flow and they become popular. Like anything gut health right now, I find is like a really big touch point, right? I mean, anything you say gut health, even on this podcast, people are so fascinated or intrigued, or they think is a new panacea. So yeah. So are you taking ideas are you finding things that are kind of like trending or really kind of in the zeitgeist, right? And then you kind of
So she flip-flops, Celeste. She flip-flops from going... Let me just double check that okay, we're on broadcasting. Okay. She flip-flops between saying she fully created it or she created it with other nutritionists. I have questions if a registered dietitian signed off on the gut protocol. And am I a registered dietitian? No, I'm not. I get that. Just from stuff that I know, I have questions when I saw that program, for sure.
Create something around it. Is that?
I wouldn't, I don't know that it's that derivative.
This is on 1.2 speed, and they're still talking normally. He was talking so slow before.
But we are paying attention to what people want, and we're paying attention to what the latest learnings are. So
this is on 1.5, and he's still talking normally.
Take Shakeology, right? For instance, I would watch Isabel, my wife, formulate her own shake at the kitchen counter every morning, like put all these little droppers and powders.
Yeah. And
I'm like, what's happening? We're like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, like based on how I feel, I put this thing together. And she would like literally the whole countertop was filled with little scoops of things and droppers and flower essence and all these things. And so we needed, I wanted a product that was, there's plenty of protein shakes out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a protein problem. I have a overall nutrition and vegetable problem. So I said, hey, look.
Most people do, by the way, too.
Right. So I asked her, can you formulate something that will help me with my nutrition problem? And she said, no, I won't do it, because she had done it for another company. And what happened was, like, she did it, she put everything she knew into this thing. And then, the bean counters, the suits got involved and tinkered with it so that it would be cheaper.
Yes.
And give them the right margins. And so she didn't want to go through that again. And I said, look, what if I promise you that I won't do that? Like, what I want is something that'll be good for you to drink and for me to drink. And she said, well, I would love to. I have a list of superfoods that everybody's starting to talk about. Like, it's just starting to be a thing. And ashwagandha and chaga and all these things. And she's like, I would like to put that and formulate it so that they are synergistic. You don't even have to put tons of it in there, but the fact that there's synergy between these superfoods will make the shake very unique. But I'm going to need some help. And that's when she met Darren O'Lean, and the two of them compared notes and had the same list and created this shake that I don't think has a peer. It's really in a category all its own, because it does combine these superfoods, phytonutrients, proteins, fiber, digestive enzymes, probiotics, and check all these boxes that most of us don't check every day. So what that did, and that's what we do. The reason I'm going to that story is
there's no proof.
We don't just go into a category and try.
There's no proof that the ingredients in the shake actually have a synergistic effect. So synergy is when two things work together to make something greater than the actual combined total of their individual values. There's no testing that said that that's the case. And is it a good sales word? Sure. I'm just irritated.
Do better. We try to invent the category that's needed, that
Proprietary
nobody's
blend, yep.
had the guts or team to be able to satisfy that need. And that's what we try to do, whether it's a supplement or a nutrition plan or a fitness program.
So when you were growing, right? So like you said, P90X was that was the one that kind of put you on the map, which right? So did you kind of take that program and the money you made and leverage it to the next program? Like, did you raise money? Did you ever have to raise money? Like, because in the direct marketing, you have to spend a lot, I would imagine, to then take that, you got to buy ads and buy time, right? How did that process work? Yeah, we started the business with $500,000 that we raised from angel investors. And then we were successful enough in the first 3 years to buy them out. And then it was in 2012 that we needed to make some technology enhancements that were
2012 is when they replaced their entire corporate team. 2012, 2013. So
we were basically reinvesting into the business from 2003 through 2012. Once we bought those partners out, and then in 2012 we wanted to bring on a little bit of capital, get more sophisticated with how the board was run, and so we raised some money, I think around $100 million at that time, and then started the process of looking at the digital transformation, which we successfully implemented in 2016. And then in 2018, so these things with private equity groups, they call them, they sort of hit a horizon, a maturity. And it was time for those guys. They were ready to wrap it up. So we had we wanted to bring in growth equity because we wanted to grow the business. And so we basically just sort of traded. And so the new private equity came in, bought those other guys out, this new group called the Rain Group. And they're the ones that work with us to then take the company public through a SPAC last year.
Right. Has it been successful?
Well,
no.
It depends on how you define success. I mean, I would say that
This is such a sales answer. Are you kidding me? It has not been going well. It has not been going well. I will say that.
our timing was terrible. And you can't count on these things. You never know what a post-pandemic environment is going to look like. So, we used a device to go public called a SPAC, which stands for a special purpose acquisition company. And it basically means there's a company that does nothing that's already public. And so you're going to merge into that company, which was a very efficient way to go public. So we started that process in, 2000, I guess 2019, 2020. And the pandemic hit, and it was like everything was going crazy.
Take some ownership, Carl. Take some freaking ownership. You have a lot of super trainers. You have a lot of your big coaches who are doing horrible things for your marketing. They're giving bad fitness advice. They're giving bad nutrition advice. They're doing bad things to their team if they're an actual coach who signed up as a contractor with you. And you continue to say, oh, no, there's no compliance issues here. There's no this, there's no that. It's the people representing your brand. That's a big thing. And you don't care. You've literally doubled down on your super trainers and on your coaches instead of saying, no, we're going to take a look. We're not going to do income claims anymore. We're not going to do health claims. We're not going to give bad nutrition advice. We're not going to give bad physical training advice. And you continue to do it. He's saying like, oh, it's timing. It's you. It's you and your business, Carl. It's you.
But at the same time, then once we got into 2021, sort of the bloom fell off the rose in terms of what this SPAC type of transaction. And so, the market's funny. It'll sort of group everybody together rather than judging a company on its merits. Anything that went public via a SPAC was painted with this brush of not being a good company. And so, here we are, a company doing a little over $800 million a year and getting a valuation that's been just crushed. And look, now that's the current game. Like, so if you say, has it been successful? It's nowhere near what I expect it to be.
Right.
We haven't achieved nearly the goals that we want, but I'm a majority shareholder and controlling shareholder. And I'm playing the long game. I'm in this for another 10 years and fully expect this thing to realize the goals that we've got, which are to be the dominant health and fitness ecosystem in the world. And
how much do we believe Carl right now? Because I do not believe him. I do not believe him. His confidence is just petering off at the end of his sentences. It does not come across as trustworthy. To me, I don't know. Did Carl motivate you to get some exercise? Nope. Avery's like, heck no. How can Autumn create this food guide with no credentials? I'm taking a walk while listening to this on my phone, so I won't be able to comment much, but I'm here. That's awesome, Avery. Jeez.
That's just a matter of being inventive and patient and making sure we've got the right resources. So, we're just.
Have you been in business so long that you do not understand that the only reason that you are making a lot of money in your company is because you have independent coaches bringing in those subscriptions and those Shakeology orders? Okay, number one. Number two, some of the super trainers that you have on staff are incredibly problematic. They've done some sketchy shit. They've done some sketchy things. And instead of saying, hey, super trainers, cut it out, you said, no, all you people in the market, we're not going to listen to you. We've spent too much time investing in the super trainer, so we're not going to correct any behavior. Do I really have to spell it out? I don't get it. I don't get it. Are you kidding me? Tracy's team just got 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃 tattoos in Dallas. Oh my God. If y'all don't know what 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃 is, it's a strip company, and they said they have a completely unique product. But what's this? This is a product made in Switzerland that is very similar to the 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃 strip. So what's the truth? Is it completely unique? Or are there other similar dissolvable strips on the market? You can't just say whatever you want. You have to tell the truth. I know this is not about the Beachbody call, but you gotta tell the truth. At least make an effort. At least make an effort.
In the middle of the process, and I don't judge the process in the middle of the process. I just keep working my way through it.
Right. That's a great answer, actually. I understand that.
It's literally not a great answer. Carl.
Do you feel like, well, first of all, I would imagine through COVID, you guys just crushed. I mean, everybody did. I feel like everybody did, you know? Yeah.
Did you?
But at the same time, have you found it to be more difficult even pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, with now so much more competition? You have Tonal, Mirror, well, obviously Peloton. I mean, all those. And then you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry doing their fitness programs and their own Zooms and their own classes. And how do you kind of like stay relevant in that space and compete and compete?
Honestly, in 2020, everybody got into the business. Mm-hmm. And in 2021, everybody got out of the business or had these headwinds. And honestly, like, I just don't think we're anything like Peloton and Tonal and Mirror. Like, none of them offer a total solution. None of them offer the depth of catalog that we have. And none of them offer the kind of content that we have, which is, like I said, prescriptive and walks you through sort of step by step every day. The production.
So much content. I mean, so much content.
Right. And so you know, while they're the Pelotons and the connected fitness companies that rely on equipment, they've innovated and done amazing things. But the very premise of our company was always that in the Bowflex days, back in the early 90s.
Tracy went live 2 hours ago. Sorry, I'm just taking a break. What an emotional experience this day was. Dang, she went live yesterday too. Oh, she posted about Aaron. Dang, sorry, I'm just like, I was trying to see if I could see the tattoos, but I don't see them on her Facebook page. All right, we'll keep listening.
Or late 90s, our premise was gravity is...
Yeah, she does not look happy in her live. I will say that. Do we want to like take a break from Carl? I'm just kidding. She is not a pleasant, it doesn't seem to be a pleasant person, but okay.
Free. If you just show somebody how to use gravity...
Hi, Christy.
To get a good workout, they don't need to spend $1,500. Now, I'm in the equipment business. We bought a bike company. But I think spinning as a genre or indoor cycling as a genre has been popular since Johnny G invented it.
Johnny G. Yeah.
So, you know, it makes sense that would be enduring. But I don't need to invent smart dumbbells. Like, you just need to lift them. What you need is good content in front of you that's engaging, entertaining, with great talent, that makes you want to come back the next day. And that's been our premise since we started the business.
Well, it's true. Like, so I was going to say, how important is the talent? Because the truth is, after a while, all content kind of blends together. Every class blends together. Like every program. I mean, there's only so many ways you can do a lunge, a squat, a glute bridge, right? Sure. It comes down to who you kind of resonate with or like as a personality, right? Yeah. I mean, I've done, I actually like who on your program that I've done recently, just because I wanted to see and try a bunch of stuff before I saw you. That lift 4 was very good. It was short and very effective.
Yeah. Well, and it was an interesting idea to reduce the footprint of fitness to 4 days a week, give people a cheat day as part of the nutrition plan, and combine HIIT interval training with lifting. So it's like super efficient. Now,
yes. And he's likable. The guy's very nice and likable.
Yeah. Well, they're actually in development right now. We're coming out with a program called Lift More.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yes, this July.
Are you serious? There is something about being likable. I get it. Or being dynamic, or being someone that someone wants to be able to engage with and follow up and work out with. Even more importantly, is having someone who's a certified trainer or who has multiple certifications, so that when they are doing these, that they understand the importance of form and all that other stuff. And they're aware of it enough to say, hey, we shouldn't be doing this in combination with this because of this. It is important at least to have a good foundation, because you only get one body. You literally only get one body.
Where we added an extra day of lifting, and so the program is just a little bit longer because they're lifting more. But that premise is enduring. It's one of our top 4 programs on the digital platform.
How did that other one do? So it was a guy. It was
There are my
an Israeli guy,
notifications again.
𝐔𝐒𝐄, and he was doing like
Body Beast.
body beast. How did that go?
It was a big hit. I mean, that was still
Was
in
it?
the infomercial days, and what's interesting about that is you never know about this business. Like, since we started the company, I thought that
Jessica.
the industry, the fitness industry, wasn't really talking to men enough. So
We're
I wanted to
speeding
do a
up, Carl.
program that was just, this is for the guys. And so we did this program, Body Beast, with this incredible bodybuilder cover model and funny guy. And it did okay until we started to open it up and we started to get success stories in from women.
Mm-hmm.
We started to add the female success stories and transformations to the marketing, and then it absolutely took off because women were resonating with lifting.
Yes.
And so that program has been a great hit. It led to another one called Masters Hammer and Chisel that he produced with Autumn Calabrese, who was also a competitor, and the two of them sort of put this male and female lifting program. I think it's a 90-day program together, and it just continues on. So it's fun. It's a fun thing to constantly reinvent or to look at, like what's missing here still. I remember when we came up with this program T25 with Shaun T.
I remember that too. Yes.
And it was a monster hit. T stood for time, or Shaun T, but it was the time was 25 minutes, and it was such a hit that I was like, oh God, what's going to happen? We have to go 24 minutes, 23 minutes, 22 minutes. But then the follow up, we did a follow up to Insanity called Insanity Max 30, which was a really interesting concept because a lot of people couldn't do Insanity. It was 45 minutes long. We said, okay, look, a lot of people can't do that. So what if we cop to that? And we said, look, just do the best you can for 30 minutes. Because Insanity is a sprint. So Insanity Max 30, the goal of this program is see how long you can keep going to your max before you need to take a break. And then you write down, I made it to 12 minutes today. I made it to 5 minutes. And then by the end of 6 weeks or 8 weeks, can you go all 30 minutes? And that has actually been a more enduring program than Insanity itself. So it's like just these different ways of looking at it to appeal to somebody's sense of aspiration or their goals that just make it a little bit of a sport, a little bit of a reason to go do it.
Yeah, it's funny. I would imagine it's hard to know who's going to hit and who's not, right? Because look at the Tony Horton, like P90X, everyone liked it. Guys liked it, girls liked it. He's very likable on camera. He's very funny, all these other things. And then you do P90X and then 50 other iterations. And the other iterations didn't do as well as
Hi,
the first,
Dr. 𝐔𝐒𝐿
Yeah. Well, P90X3 did pretty well.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah. In fact, so P90X3, look, things transition. The marketing of these changed. The infomercial died.
Yeah.
So
and that was an infomercial product.
It was really at the peak of the infomercial business. Yeah. So I got the benefit of this timing. It was.
If you're just joining us, Carl has been talking about in a not effective way for the last 38 minutes about himself, the efficacy of his programs, how he launched his company, or he went public at a very inopportune time, and that is the reason that it's not worth or the evaluation is not what it should be, and been promoting and pumping up all of his decisions and how good the super trainers are, blah, 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 and how delicious Shakeology is. Ugh.
Tony was this incredible, likable, like we just said, just go be you and don't try to be Mr. On Camera. Just be you, man, because you're fascinating and fun. And it was so likable. And so now P90X2 got super functional and complicated. So then P90X3, we dialed it down and made those 30 minutes. So we sort of shortened, abbreviated P90X proper, but also made it a little bit more functional and with some compound movements. And that's still quite popular on the Beachbody On Demand platform. So, you take these things out as long as they go and then you come up with something new.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of people like incoming, like people?
Yeah, I think it was like insane, like fitness levels. The guy who did it, Shaun T, I hope he leaves Beachbody, but they obviously pay him a lot of money. Positively Pipkin, Shakeology is disgusting. Yes, I unfortunately have tried it, and it is, in my opinion, undrinkable. It's undrinkable in its powdered form of mixing it with one liquid, like water or milk. The milk is not strong enough to make it taste good. So whenever they tell you, oh, Shakeology is only this much per day and you can give up your Starbucks or you can give up this and be able to drink it. No, it's not just that price, because you cannot just drink the Shakeology packet by itself. You have to add a banana, you have to add peanut butter, you have to add all of these other things. And so it becomes more expensive than just that $3.75 with the discount. It's like well over $4. It might even be higher than that, depending on what you put in your shake.
Well, applying for these, do you have auditions for people, for new talent all the time? Or what's...
We really don't. I mean, we get a lot of emails, Instagram messages, and, everybody's submitting. And in fact, I won't take a direct.
You can give up your Starbucks equals you can give up your happiness. Yeah. And the thing is, they're like, oh, you can give up your Starbucks and pay for this. But again, I've said this before, and I know y'all are probably getting tired of me saying this. But when I get a latte at Starbucks, I don't additionally have to add other things to it to make it taste better. I don't have to add a banana to it. I don't have to add peanut butter to it. I don't have to add anything to it. It's good straight from like what they give me. And I know some people hate Starbucks. I get it. I'm saying the concept of when I spend a certain amount of money at a coffee shop and what I receive, I don't necessarily have to add a lot of other expensive ingredients. Or if I do have to add something, normally the coffee shop provides it at the little condiment counter. So it's included in the cost. With Shakeology, that's not the case. It's not.
Because I don't want anybody to say, hey, you're stealing my idea, because there's so much in development all the time. So I send that to legal and they'll look at it. But in general, we've got a lot of people in the ecosystem that we're always working with. And then every once in a while, you'll see somebody with a little special spark and you go, hey, you know what? We might create a program around you. Or we'll see somebody, like I said, a Chalene Johnson or an Autumn Calabrese. Like Autumn had developed her own portion program. And it wasn't quite the way we do it, but we're like, hey, there's something really there. Let's develop that with you. So, you spot these people. And like you said at the beginning, Kathy Smith, I mean, she was, she had done more than anybody in fitness video. And we just wanted to sort of replicate our model of prescriptive programs with somebody who's a well-known fitness star. And so we developed this program, Project U, with her. And, and so that was a success for us time. So it's like just constant. That's why I say I feel like we're a startup, because I don't know the right way to do it, except constantly trying to figure out how to trick myself into being more consistent. And, once I succeed with that, I guess my job is done.
No, I think you're doing a great job. I mean, so then after the whole infomercial and direct, TV stuff, what was the next iteration? Are you then doing digital marketing? How are you constantly growing? Are you using the team? Like, what is this team, the Beachbody coaches? Is that how you're going to get more customers?
Here's a Spark Notes. Carl has been talking about himself and his company for the past 40 minutes and 59 seconds. The host, whatever her name is, Jennifer Cohen, is it Cohen? Jennifer Cohen is a big Beachbody fan, so there hasn't really been any hard-hitting questions. There hasn't even really been any interesting questions. We found out that Carl didn't launch his company publicly at the right time, which is why the evaluation is what it is, that his super trainers are amazing, even though we've seen maybe that's not the case. And he's told some really boring stories. So it's been boring so far. And he said some other things that have made me incredibly angry. So it's just been a whole moment. Hi, Melissa. Hope you had a wonderful sleep. Carl's just being Carl. Carl is being freaking Carl right now. Man, so nothing in a lot of time. Yeah.
Plan.
So, we do digital marketing on social media and so on. But there was a time in about 2006 that you could see that the infomercial was going to hit a ceiling. But we were getting so many referrals from customers who were just raving about their results and shocked that they could achieve something on their own because they'd failed at everything else, right? And then all of a sudden, P90X or Turbo Jam or whatever, hip-hop ad, and something works for them. And then, they lose 50 pounds. And when they walk into a party and haven't seen everybody, they are the center of attention.
Yes,
and I watched
Melissa.
this play out, and I'm thinking, and it's interesting because Team Beachbody is a multi-level marketing model, right?
And he said it. Thank God.
And there's a lot of criticism on multi-level marketing, and which is frankly quite valid in many cases. If you expect people to load up on inventory, or if you're just expecting the distributors to customers. But in our case, I thought It's really
Tell us how you're different, Carl. Just tell us.
not fair that somebody loses 50 pounds with Insanity or P90X, then walks into a party and 10 people decide they're going to buy it. And that person that did that hard work and had the discipline to change their lifestyle gets nothing for it. So we said, what if we gave them a share of whatever
Heck no.
referrals
Heck
they
no.
generated
Heck
for
no.
us? But on top of that,
Nolan, you didn't
if
miss
they
anything.
help those people succeed, and those people
You didn't miss anything. Carl's still been talking about himself. He is trying to explain how incredible his multi-level marketing model is and how he really, just out of the goodness of his heart, set up this model so that those people who lost so much weight with his programs could make some money. Carl!
people become walking billboards for the business, that person deserves a piece of that too, and so on and so on. Multi-level
Carl, please turn off your computer notifications. Even though I had the same notification, I can't turn it off.
marketing. And so all we did was
Settings.
put this model in place so that with the advent of social media, it'd be possible to put a dent in this trend of obesity by letting people with the problem monetize that problem for themselves, hopefully improve their own consistency, because now they've got a prospect of income from it and an incentive to motivate other people to do it. It's like the perfect business model to solve a problem that is not getting solved by the gym industry or the equipment industry in and of itself.
It's the perfect business model? Is that what I'm being sold right now? It's the perfect business model? Correction, I think you mean it's the perfect business model for you to make you more money.
And so that has been now the driver of our growth because it works. If it didn't work, it wouldn't expand. But when people, like, again, I'll use a 4-week up.
I got bored, so I'm prepping my spy Facebook. That's amazing, Jessica. Mine is still up. I was able to make a new one because I'm making changes slowly to it so I can get into some of these groups. By selling crappy shake mix and a million other supplements and dumb workouts and creating meal plans that put people in a severe caloric deficit. There, I fixed it for you, Carl. Yes, Melissa.
Protocol. The 4-week gut protocol, as you said, the gut microbiome, everybody's talking about it, right? Mm-hmm. And it's true. When you start to deal with what your food triggers are, the gas, the bloating, the inflammation, like skin issues, you might see some changes from that.
You might see some changes from that. Why don't we, where's the medical professional? You know?
Based on changing how you're feeding yourself. And it blows people's minds
okay,
when they
Sonia.
see their skin clear up or the inflammation goes away or again, I don't want to use medical terms. And that
Hi, Janet. Good morning.
That has an echo into their social media space, and they deserve a commission when their enthusiasm generates another sale. And so that's the new infomercial, frankly, is real live testimonials sharing their experience with our complete products.
Yeah, it's my little radio.
Exactly, and it also gives people it's another way to acquire customers.
It's not
How
real,
else do you
though.
acquire them now without the commercials? Like you have digital.
I just did it too. So we didn't have to look at the dumb Spotify thing. So it can turn off or turn on. So when we're listening to Spotify, we're going to put that on. And then when we are watching YouTube, we are going to put the screen on like that. Oops.
Marketing. What are other ways that you can stay kind of, relevant?
I'm going to make myself a smoothie.
And growing and getting more.
After my coffee with a whole banana. Y'all are wild in the chat and I freaking love it. You know what I do when I'm bloated? I go to the toilet and then I remember that I can't have gluten.
More subscribers.
Well, again, it comes from this is the perfect way to keep the company on its rails of innovation and effectiveness. And that is
someone get Carl a mic.
Because of the coach network and these what we call preferred customers. If we're not helping them get results, they're not going to acquire other customers. But when we do help them get results, they can't help but acquire more customers. So that just ripple effect, that's what brings in the customers. Now, we do have direct marketing that helps support that, search engine optimization and all that. But our job really has gotten much simpler because we don't have to be so clever about marketing. What we need to be clever about is how simple we make it for people to get real results. That's what Beachbody has.
No, what you have to do is create programs that are sound, that use sound theology, not theology, a sound understanding of creating safe and effective programs. Safe and effective programs. The key word here is safe, that has good like form and nutrition wise, that you're consulting with a registered dietitian or maybe even a doctor in nutrition, so that it's sound. It's not just some super trainer who comes up with an idea and you're going to try to make it work at whatever cost. Jeez. I don't know how high this voice is going to be if I do the pitch up one. But theology is not inaccurate since so many people treat MLM like a religion. Yeah. What I do when I'm bloated is first glance at my menstrual cycle tracking app, because I'm a female with a uterus and it likes to do that sometimes. Yep.
To be about. If we're getting people results with fitness, with nutrition and supplementation that can help them biohack the process a little bit, then we succeed, then we attract more customers.
What has been your biggest success in Beachbody? Has it been a program? Has it been the shake? Has it been a supplement?
You have already asked
what has
this
been
question.
kind of the biggest revenue?
Shakeology.
I would say certainly Shakeology has been a game changer for us.
It's been Shakeology. We all know that. But
I can't really say the biggest success is the discipline.
He hasn't had these vocal pauses. Like he is, I'm going to say, I don't know what the correct term is. He is stumbling over his words now. He hasn't necessarily done it like that in any other part of the podcast. And so he is trying to not put all of his answer on the truth, which...
It's Shakeology.
You know? Shakeology. It's Shakeology. That's the answer.
He started with very early that said, we were never going to act like you didn't need to watch what you eat at the same time that you're working out. And we don't promote that you can just...
In fact, I'm bloated today and a little crabby and stressed because I have to online shop for back to school clothes, supplies, and all the things for school. I'm sorry, Janet. I'm still voting that he's having a hard time on the body.
Eat a specific way and have a healthy existence. So we promote this holistic approach that frankly is more complicated to promote than a narrow thing. Hey, just get on this bike or just take this pill or just eat this way.
I think I'm going to use this voice whenever I'm going to talk about Carl, or whenever I'm repeating something Carl says.
That's a much easier thing to market than what we call the total solution. But by maintaining our discipline to the total solution, people have come to count on Beachbody that when they are ready to go all in and really get results, when they're done pretending, I'm going to try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. When they're done pretending, I think they know they can come to Beachbody, and that's when they're going to get real results that are sustainable.
That's great. One more question, then I can let you go. This body thing you mentioned at the beginning about the fact that you now have this bike, and is it like you acquired this company, and like what is that? I saw some stuff about that, but I wasn't really familiar. Is it kind of like you're doing what like Peloton did basically, and you're going to have a bunch of programs and instructors? Is it a separate entity from Beachbody?
No, it's
same instructors, different.
Damn it, Carl.
Instructors.
Well, I've been looking at stationary cycling and again, what spinning did that was so genius. People were like losing such crazy weight doing this workout. And I was like, gosh, how does that translate? and we've been literally since 2001 had been looking at when is indoor cycling going to make it into the house? And, because really it's about replicating this experience that you have in the gym.
You've been looking at it since 2001. Are you serious? There's no way. There's no way. When they make sustainable lifestyle and diet changes and exercise in a way that feels good to them, that's when they're going to get results. Fixed it again.
Frickin' Carl.
Eldest kid is wondering what I'm watching because I'm laughing out loud. He's going to say it's different because a trainer can cue the BOD cast and correct their form on the spot.
But music is complicated and all that stuff. And then obviously you pay attention to what SoulCycle was doing, then what Flywheel was doing, and then Peloton articulated it into the home with the touchscreen. And I'm like, oh, that's really interesting.
Not just the touchscreen, Carl. It's a superior bike. It is a superior bike than Mix. It is.
And I wasn't immediately attracted to go into it until we found this company Mix that does it that was doing it very differently than Peloton, because they were doing it not based on leaderboard, not based on this sort of competition.
Oh my God. The leaderboard is a part of Peloton. It's not even necessarily a draw for most people. Guess what? Do I ever make it on the leaderboard? No, I do not. Do I still love Peloton? Yes. You know why? Because of the cycling instructors. Creating these problems that people actually do not have is wild. It's wild to listen to, especially from a marketing standpoint, because in marketing, you have to look at actual things that people care about. And he's making stuff up, in my opinion. I remember when we had our third baby, 2005, we had a home bike and also a room of weights and benches, and I was doing Taibo. Cool.
That I felt would be unsustainable because it would sort of drive people crazy. Like the bike would become the enemy if you're not like in your go get 'em mode.
You know why the bike is not the enemy, Carl? Because the cycling instructors on Peloton are actually wonderful. They do not focus on you losing weight every single session. They focus on form. It is an enjoyable experience. It's literally, you can go to any single one and it's always fun. You haven't even done Peloton. You don't even know what people like about it.
But instead, Mix was doing it around heart rate training. So as long as you're hitting your zone, and we do this.
Guess what? Peloton has a heart rate too. I'm losing my mind.
Where we calibrate the bike to your heart rate, and so that you'll be in zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. So the trainers on the screen are trying to get you in the right zone so that you know that workout was effective for you. So it's not about competing. It's about knowing that you got a great workout in 20 to 45 minutes, depending on which one you choose.
I'm sorry, Melissa.
That happens in this BOD interactive layer that we charge a separate subscription fee for, but it's a part of the Beachbody On Demand ecosystem. So, and it's a great bike. It's basically the Star Trek bike, which was sold into gyms for a decade, and then Mix added a screen to it. So it's a commercial grade bike. And people are having a great experience with the content. We've got this huge LED wall that's immersive, and we do something very different. This is the fun thing about it. It's kind of like this Zoom call where we call them the podcast, where the first 100 people or so will actually, if they raise their hand, they say, I want to be in the cast, we'll actually project them up on the screen behind the trainer. And so it's not just the trainer that you're watching, but you're actually seeing subscribers working out. And they do it not just on the bike, but they do it in yoga class, Pilates, and so on. And it's this feeling of being a part of real group exercise.
Yeah.
Guess what? I feel a part when I ride the Peloton. I feel a part. It's great. And they have live classes. And you can replay any single ride. You can even search by instructor if you like a specific instructor. What? Is that a draw? Tell me in the chat, be honest with me. You won't hurt my feelings. You might will. You might a little bit. Is it a draw to see other people working out behind the super trainers? Late to the stream, but my gut says the Beachbody bikes have a relatively low weight limit. It's actually, interestingly enough, they say they have a higher weight limit than Peloton, but when I've seen Autumn ride the mixed bike, and it seems to wobble when she rides it. I like just looking at the instructor and being in the privacy of my own home and riding my bike. We got it during the pandemic, and if you care about the leaderboards, you can be on the leaderboard, or you can just enjoy the bike and then feel like you're in a class with someone else. When you feel like the top coaches are celebrities, yes, good point. Good point, Celeste. We had a stationary bike for a while. It gave me a chafed butt and nothing else. Cute glances of scorn every time I walked by it. Oh, Lynn, you're so funny.
To be at the gym. It's super unique. And we've got, I think, in addition to what our super trainers do, I think we've got another 12 or so trainers that teach every day.
That's a great idea. I've never seen that before, where you can actually see the people that you're working out with versus just that one instructor.
Yeah, it's really cool. What's so powerful about it? Visually, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But because you get to pick somebody who's like, oh, she's...
Oh, hey, it just occurred to me that this fall will be 20 years since I've sat on any kind of bike. What a milestone. I'm so proud of myself. We're proud of you too, Melissa. Well, you know what? We're going to give you a little bit of a clap. Okay.
Modifying it like I am, so I don't feel so
Exactly.
bad. I'm not as good as the trainer. But what's really good, and I think important, and this is why people, when they do comparisons and stuff, I'm like, yeah, you can't, I'm sorry, but you can't compare to our company. Because we know, like, we're honest with ourselves. We know that a person who's just queuing in a video,
My plan worked.
that the way that gets heard at home is very different than maybe it was intended.
Yeah.
So
Our bike turned into a
so what
clothing
you have
rack.
to-
Yeah, and again, like, some people like riding bikes, some people don't. We've liked it because better on my knees. My husband likes it. Again, just trying to save our knees in our old age.
Just hope that they get it and they do it right. And we know in many cases they don't. Well, now on Body, the trainer has this entire wall of people, just like in Group X,
You just
where they're looking and they see when a cue was broken. And they're like, no, guys, I meant bend your right knee or whatever it was. They can make a change on the fly and fix a cue that nobody else does because they don't have eyes on their group of in-home subscribers. But Body
Never mind. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just so mad.
has that. So even if you're not part of that group, when you hear that refined cueing, you're like, oh, I was bending my back too, or my knee was going out too far over my toes, or whatever. Like it's an immersive kind of training that I don't think has ever been achieved before in-home digital training, and I'm super proud of it.
That is actually very unique. I've never heard of that before. And so that's a separate subscription to than Beachbody On Demand. So let's say if I wanted to do 3 days a week of, I don't know, T25 or whatever it is, 𝐔𝐒𝐄, I'm just making it up. And then 3 other days I want to do body, I want to do the bike. I have to buy 2 different subscriptions though.
Correct? Yeah, well, what happens is you buy the base Beachbody On Demand subscription, that's $99 a year. Okay. And then if you want to do the live content with the bike, it's $19.95 a month on top of that.
Got
so
it.
Still.
Are you effing kidding me, Carl?
Carl!
Okay, so with Peloton, you can pay the subscription and you get access to everything. You get access to everything. Why can't it just be the $199 per year? I know, it should be enough to pay for the bike, especially if you buy the bike. You should get the subscription for whatever you're paying for the monthly fee for Beachbody. You should. You should.
So if all in, it's less than $30 a month, which is still less than some of the competitors. But you get all this huge library of content, the nutrition plans, the support of the community, and now this live content.
And then you buy the bike, I guess. You have to buy the
Oh.
bike.
That's right.
And the bike. Is it by how much is
Hi,
the bike?
Heather.
There's always special.
I wish you'd got me on a more interesting live. We're just listening to Carl talk about himself and how amazing his programs are. And it is not stimulating at all. We're just mostly mad and saying,
Damn it, Carl! Damn it!
Running, I think it's about $1,500 right now.
So it's still cheaper than a Peloton bike, actually.
uh-oh.
Yeah, maybe about, I don't know what they've done. Their prices sort of all around. So it's
All
about
over the. And then if I wanted to buy that body thing, right? I'm sorry, I'm curious because I'm sure a lot of people also do Peloton. Because now what Peloton does is you pay and you get like all these other workouts, right? You get like, I think for $12.95, I don't remember the price, right? And you get all these other workouts. Do you guys have other workouts in the body membership besides the workout for the
We have boot camp.
in the Body Interactive, right?
Yes, that's right. So there's daily boot camp classes, yoga classes, Pilates classes, strength training, abs, booty, core, like we get all of it. It's really the world's greatest gym, live every day. Occasionally we do Spanish and French.
Yeah,
we serve French Canadians and in France. And we also provide themed or branded workouts. So let's say I said the 21-day fix was a big hit.
Okay, bye, Janet.
Autumn Calabrese will do a live 21-day fix workout. So it's sort of like, you love the Pearl Jam album, now go see them live. So you like 21-day fix, now you get to do it live and be part of the camp.
You just compared Autumn Calabrese to Pearl Jam. Did that just happen? It's not this. Being famous within a multi-level marketing company is not the same as being actually famous. Do I have to... Carl...
And that whole thing. So it's really fun. It's only been... We've only had it going since last November or so. So we're really still inventing, but it's a fantastic canvas that we're
still really
coming up with
inventing.
new ways to paint on it every day.
That's amazing. And so what's next? And that's my last question for you. What's the next iteration or next evolution?
Yes, Mrs. 𝐔𝐿 is going to wash all her mouths out with soap. Yep.
For you guys. Is there something else you're working on that you want to innovate?
You know what?
Always. Always.
I don't want to be a tease, but there's
gross.
A couple of things coming that are as exciting as anything that we've contemplated as a company, and daunting and just outrageous. But again, my goal is I want Beachbody to be a utility that, just like every house has running water and electricity, I want the houses that don't have Beachbody On Demand to be the outliers. Like, what do you mean you don't have Beachbody On Demand? Where are you getting your fitness and nutrition program?
Not if I have anything to do about it. Not if I have anything to do about it. Carl, you're the last person on the planet I would want to tease me. I think we all agree on that.
From. And so it's our job to make it accessible to everyone. And that's what I think some of these new innovations are going to do.
That's great. Oh, I have to ask you, because
not another question.
It is an entrepreneurial podcast. What do you say? I just didn't even ask you any of these. What do you think? What keeps you so constantly so motivated and so is this your energy? Like you seem to never have a dip in your iterations and your ability to kind of your drive, I should say. I think drive is a real word. Have you always been very driven? Is that just a fundamental quality, or
is drive a real word? Did that just happen?
That's something.
I think so.
Carl, stay away from my house. I'll send the cat at you. Lynn, is Beachbody in Norway? I think I maybe have asked you this before, but I feel like you live in the magical country where there's not a ton of multi-level marketing companies.
I'm not a big...
Sweet.
People who are life balance.
Live chat, we're all moving to Norway.
I don't even know what that is. I can't even identify. I just like to create so much, and maybe that makes things complicated. I don't know, but I just it's mind blowing to me that
Avery said something. It is not accessible to everyone because of how expensive it is, and that's a very good point.
Yep. A circumstance, a problem, or an opportunity.
We're all live chat. We're all going to Norway, and we're gonna live next door to Lynn because there's no Beachbody there.
Helping the population get more active and just be more conscious of itself and of its
come join
nutrition.
us. We have free healthcare,
and to have that complete white space, this blue ocean of opportunity that I get to be at the front of trying to solve that.
My Chihuahua mix will bite your ankles off, Carl. Hypothetically. I have legit considered moving to Europe, but unfortunately our business can't be based there. Damn it. Yes. My Pomeranian will bark. Mine will pretend to bark, and then we'll probably become best friends with Carl, and then he'll probably want to go home with Carl because my dog has never met anyone he doesn't want to include into his pack. So I can't say anything meaningful about my dog because he has never met someone he doesn't like.
problem, which is a 100
yes,
billion
I'm saying my Boston Terriers will lick him to death. That's what my dog Caspian will do.
dollar problem to try to solve. Like, I can barely sleep. Like, I'm so scared to death that I'm going to miss it. That I'm just
You're
driven
scared
every
to
day to
sleep?
like, what are we missing? How can we make it easier for people? How can we appeal to more people? Why wouldn't they want to feel this good? And so that's what drives me. And I guess someday I'll keel over. I don't know.
No, you're not. I think you're doing. I love what you've done, and hopefully you come back. I went over. I think you have another meeting to go to, but hopefully you come back on the podcast and you can tell me about the other two things that you're teasing me about, or what's coming down the pipeline. But until then, thank you for being on the podcast. You're a great guest. I found this very, very, for me anyway, you're a very interesting person, and I love what you've created and did. So
thank you so much. It was really fun, and yeah, we can talk in August. I think I'll have more things to say.
Perfect. I'm going to come get you in August then.
It's August.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thank you. How do we find you? Beachbody.com. How do people who are listening?
Sure.
Is that just
Beachbody.com, beachbodyondemand.com, and
follow you? You're on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I'm no Instagram influencer. The thing to follow is at Beachbody. That's where action is.
At Beachbody. Got it. Okay. Thank you very much, Carl.
All right. Thank you.
Habits and hustle.
What? Okay, we're turning off the vintage radio because we're done listening. We like this format better where we don't have to stare at the Spotify, right? I like that better. And I think I'm going to do that instead when I do StreamYard with other people. I'm just going to have an overlay on with the vintage radio, and you'll be able to see us talk and communicate. Oh, good, Avery. I just don't like the Spotify taking up, like, it's not a video. And I understand with video for, like, when I'm streaming with other people, when I stream with Avery, when I've streamed with Tanya or Karina or Kirsty or Kayla. When it's a video, I get it. When it's just audio, I'd rather be able to see. And again, I can't have the live chat on the screen when it's two people for StreamYard, but I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. It's just a little bit, I'm trying to learn as I go and also overcome technical difficulties. So it's just been a whole moment. If you were on the live stream last night, you know that I completely screwed up the CSS code for the live chat. So that I had to fix it. And then now I need to fix the colors on it. But I kind of like the translucent. I kind of like it being translucent so you can still read it, but it's a little separate. I just need to fix the names on it because ours is a border terrier and quite the dummy. He runs into everything. Oh my gosh. Poor buddy. Carl, sleep is good. Please try it. It will help your cognitive and logical mind. It seems to be lacking something. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. Carl. Well, next week is Snark Week, and I'm going to be streaming with Cheryl, Jen, Amy, and Amber, and it's gonna be something. We're going to be looking at coaches every day, and we're also going to be having some different conversations. And if you've been in Beachbody and you end up hearing this before we do Snark Week, I've set up a link in my bio to accept voice messages from people through Anchor. So if you have something to say about a specific coach, you can send us a message and we can keep it anonymous and play it on the live stream. Yes. I'm going to be trying to promote it some more, with just trying to plan out and schedule everything and grab all the content. So if you found some good content from our lovely coaches, you can also submit those to the link in my bio. I have set up a system where you can just drop the link. It's an unlimited file size acceptance, and you don't have to log into anything. So it seems pretty easy. But thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Sorry the content wasn't more riveting. Carl's just Carl. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening whenever you're watching this. I'm DC. I'm an MLM dropout, and I live stream mostly over here. We talk a little bit about everything: anti-MLM, anti-scam, no deceptive business practices, And sometimes I even have a stream where there's no technical difficulties, but no promises. No promises. I will see y'all later. Every Sunday we do Jesse Lee Ward's podcast, and my dad, 𝐔𝐒𝐄, is going to start streaming with us weekly. So that's something to look forward to. I certainly am very much looking forward to it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.